Hello, my kinder and first leaders. Welcome to December. It is finally the time where we transition to talking about the arrival of Jesus, okay? And so this week we're going to be talking about God always has a plan, and that plan is this beauty that Jesus is coming into the picture, okay? So this week we're actually talking about that Jesus is promised, and so this will be going into the prophets and how they promised Jesus a long time ago, and there is this anticipation and excitement awaiting the arrival of Jesus. And our new memory verse is, "Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord." And that's Luke 2:11. And then our virtue is just Christmas, celebrating Jesus, right? Who is God's greatest gift. And so even though we may get some gifts on Christmas or give away some gifts, we know that God is the greatest gift that we can ever receive. So this week we're starting off with, go ahead and give each child a piece of paper and something to write with or color with. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to look to the future. Okay, and they're going to think about something in the future. Maybe just think of like, hey, 5 years from now, what do you think your house is going to look like? Or something fun like that. You know, what do you think the world is going to look like 10 years, 100 years from now, or something like that? And encourage them to draw a picture of what they think that future might look like. Okay, again, this is the anticipation of, you know, what Jesus was going to look like, even though it was written hundreds and hundreds of years before. And so kind of getting them in the mindset of thinking in the future. Okay. And then explain, for the next activity, you'll go ahead and explain that they're going to hunt for 3 candy canes each in the room. And so have tons of candy canes hidden everywhere in the room, at least 3 per kid. And basically, when they start to look and they find 3 candy canes, then they have to come and sit back down on the carpet and wait for everyone else to finish finding their candy canes, okay? And you can encourage them that they can eat one of them with their parents' permission when they get picked up. But then they can also go ahead and give away the other 2 to someone else that they know, okay? So like maybe a family member or multiple family members or something like that, okay? Someone that wasn't in the class. Be sure to set the boundaries for this one too. Like, hey, the candy canes aren't outside of the room, so don't go outside of the room, or don't look in these specific bins or anything, or behind the curtain, you know, in that room and stuff like that. So things like that, go ahead and set those boundaries so they're not looking there, but hide them in different places where they can find them fairly easily, but, you know, maybe a couple of challenges here and there. And then you're going to transition to, let's hear about a story of some people who had been waiting and searching for something, for someone for a very long time. And that's going to be that story of the prophets just wanting to talk about Jesus and that coming of the Messiah. Okay, then this next one, you're going to tell them that inside some of these gifts are names of Jesus that they learned in that Bible story today. And so you'll have some gifts and basically have all the students sit in a circle, show kids that there's like the wrapped gift that's in the middle, and basically direct the students to pass the gift around the circle until you call out, "His name shall be called." And then when that happens, the child that's holding the box, they're able to take one of the, they're able to open it and take out one of the pieces of paper, okay? And now they may not know exactly what some of those words are, because some of the words are going to be like Messiah or, you know, risen one or something like that. And so Savior, wonderful advisor, wonderful counselor. So those types of things, you will go through those things here in just a little bit when all of the papers are handed out, or you can go through them one by one, however it works best with your students. But go ahead and have every student get one of the pieces of paper from that gift, and then go through the different meanings of each one of them, okay? And how Jesus fulfills any of those. So any of the knowledge that you have about those, go ahead and talk about, of course, the basic, because we're talking about kinder and first kids, but basically you're going through like what the basicness of all of these things mean, and all of that is written out on the paper for you as well. And then you can say, "I sure do love opening presents, don't you? Jesus is truly that greatest gift that has ever been given, and I'm so glad that God has a plan for us all along. Imagine having to wait hundreds of years to open your Christmas presents. Wouldn't that be crazy?" That's what the Israelites, or the Jews did when they heard these prophets and they were talking about the Messiah. But you know what? They had to wait even hundreds more years before it actually happened. And then transition directly into prayer during that time too, okay? And so allows kids to share anything that they need prayer for, or anything like that. So, and then talk about how Jesus was that most important gift again. He was called a lot of different names, right? And it isn't just about an important man, but it's about God's son. And so he came to earth to save us, and how we can show that love to others. And so go through that, and then go through a prayer time together, thanking God for all that he's done for us, and how we can give gifts and love and show that love to others others in every way around us. Then you have an activity called drawing a plan, okay? And this one you're going to instruct a student from each pair to stand facing the wall, okay? So you'll pair them up. One will be facing the wall, the other one will be kind of facing that child, but their back will be towards them, okay? And instruct the other kid to stand behind their partner and place their piece of paper on their partner's back, okay? What you're going to do is go ahead and instruct the first child to draw on their paper's back some sort of shape, okay? So think simple, like star, circle, could be a rectangle, something easy for them to draw because they're kindergarten first, right? And then what they're going to do is the partner's supposed to try to guess what the shape is that they're drawing, okay? And then after they do that, you know, you can kind of have them guess a couple of times, and if they don't get it, that's okay. But then they're going to swap, and then the child that drew last time will now be the one having their backs drawn, and they're the ones getting guessed or guessing on what their partner's drawing. And then you can say, you couldn't see what was being drawn, but you could feel it, right? And in the same way, we might not understand or be able to see what God's plan is, or at least the whole plan, but we can trust that He always has the plan, right? And then if you have some time, you can even share a personal story when you didn't see the fullness of God's plan, but how God was definitely working something in the background to make His plan known. And then you have a Christmas Lights memory verse activity for the next thing. And so what you're going to do with this is basically you'll have some pieces of paper with pieces of the memory verse on it. And you can go through the memory verse before this time. It's that first week, so they don't really know it yet. So go through it a couple times with them. Then they're going to, you're going to have like a string of lights, okay? And this string of lights, basically you're going to have them tape the memory verse in order on that string of lights to just symbolize like the order of the lights and how God made it happen. And so today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. They'll basically tape that to the string of lights in order from top to bottom as best they can. And then that'll be it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for working with these children. What you do is so important for these students, and it is amazing to see and peek in on you guys and see how you guys are doing all the time, because y'all are doing amazing. So thank you for all that you do. And also remember that December 11th, we are having some free tacos for you guys. So that's next week. You guys will have some free tacos. So come hungry and ready to eat, and we will see you guys then. Thank you. See you soon.